give up. I am a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. Even if I fall, I'll be up again, 'cause I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. I'm a survivor. Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter. Under attack, skies going black, sirens are sounding, I'm screaming, I'm shouting, I'm breaking the silence at last. This is my life, and I'm coming to take it back. Not over yet, ain't gonna quit, no matter what. Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. Even if I fall, I'll be up again, 'cause I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. I'm a survivor. Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter.
Yeah, what if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God. ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that white line, start that fire, yeah. Burn it down, oh yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun feel me now, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. I've been waiting for this moment, the final battle of the chosen. See, I'm never gonna quit, got my legacy set in motion. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. 'Cause the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You build your fortress and I'll climb your walls. You got your armor, but I see your flaws. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames.
Yo! What's up, everyone? Oh, happy Saturday. So, I'm just going to do this for the benefit of Patrick. I have a ritual that at 9 o'clock my time, I go downstairs and I go refill the cup. And I even tell Patrick, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to get more coffee. What did Patrick do? Not go get more coffee.
I was trying to find a new book. I
know. It's a big deal
The
for
Definitive
Patrick.
Guide to Spark.
There you go.
Definitive Guide to Spark.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks, Mark Walter.
So, welcome everyone. Happy Saturday. Glad you're with us. Patrick, bump your headphone volume down just a scotch. Just a
Okay,
scotch.
there you go. What about now? What about now? What
It's
about
probably
now?
fine. It's probably fine. All right. So let's see how. I don't know. How was your week, Patrick? I don't know. Chat. How was your week? How was your week? Wasn't
My
a
week
bad
was
week.
filled with fabric. My week was filled with fabric.
Was that because you wore T-shirts?
Yeah. No, I did some fabric overviews.
All right.
I was involved in a 3-day fabric POC. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I did managery things, and I did answer some questions, which was nice. So yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. I'm glad to be back in the normal rhythm. So past the launch, and things are chill, which is nice. All right.
So we have the big headphones on. We have the big headphones on because Adam was being lazy.
I'm
I
comfy,
decided to be
man,
lazy
and
too.
I'm just comfy, and I was just like, I'm not gonna switch it. I'm not tethered today. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
This is bananas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All right. If you are new to GynaCube or to the live stream, just put #new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces, and just want to welcome you and thank you for being here. It's always amazing. I'm seeing lots of yos in the chat. Yo, everyone. Burnett, we just this is my normal headphone, and it's definitely better sound quality. So versus the cheap $12 transparent ones. So also big shout out to members of GynaCube. You help us do what we do here. So if you see folks with the green name or the icon next to their name, those are members of GynaCube. So thank you for all your support. If you do want to learn more, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below. No commitment required. Just a big thank you for checking it out. And then members, hold your questions until the second half. Chatmaster C will give you the green light so you can submit your questions. So everyone else, if you're not a member, get your questions in the queue. The queue is open. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them in the queue. One time is all you need. Please put Q: in front of that question. If you don't put Q:, it doesn't get queued up unless Chatmaster C randomly puts something in there because she feels and has the power to do so. But don't spam the chat. We have a 3 strikes rule here on GynaCube. If you spam the chat after the third time, Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators, except for Patrick, will put you into a timeout. So don't do it. One time's all you need. We never get through all the questions, so if we don't get to it, come back next time. This is why on the socials I always put out, Patrick, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, you look very focused. All right,
I'm reading the
sorry,
chat.
you like in his zone. All right,
I'm trying not to look. So I'm trying.
that
not
is
to
not
look
what I
away
put on the
at
socials,
this.
by the way.
I try not to. I'm trying not to look away. I'm trying to use what we have in front of us for the chat. So I'm working on it. I'm working on something over here.
All right. It was just, you were just like this. You were like, I'm like, wow. All right. Anyway, this is why I say on the socials to get here early to get your question in. That makes your chances good that we will get to the question. So, all right, now everyone's going off on that. That's awesome. This is what happens when you skip the coffee. Exactly, Robin. Exactly.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. I love chat. It's amazing. I love all y'all. All right. Let's see who is new. Let's go scroll up. Where did I do it? Els is new. Els, thank you for showing up. It's always great to see you in person. It's great to see you in the chat now as well. Not new to GynaCube, but new to the live stream. That's exactly right. And Tom says he's buried under fabric. It's amazing. Ride with IK. You put hashtag. I'm going to assume you meant hashtag new, so I'll just welcome you. Let's see here. KC is Casey. I like that. Casey's new. Let's see here. Wow, only 2. All right, that's it. Welcome. Thank you.
A few more.
What? I only saw 2.
More. I think you missed a couple.
2. I saw 3. So I ride with IK, Els.
Yeah.
And no, I do see. Luis is new. Srinivas is new. NW's new. Look at that. There's a whole bunch I missed. Oh my goodness. Look at Patrick keeping me honest. So that's because he's focused on
See, I
the
was
chat
looking-
right now. That's
I was
focused
looking
on
at
the
the chat. I was looking at the chat.
All right. Oh, Candace, wave back at you. Always good to see folks. All right. Yes, I do need new glasses. I've been saying that for a very long time and haven't done it yet. All right. But that's why I bump up the font. So it's like 175% zoomed in on the chat on my other screen. So it's nice and big. It's fine. I just have to scroll in. Anyway. All right. Let's so there was a question that I saw asking if there were Guy in a Cube t-shirts. Of course there are. So you can go check out not that. Why didn't that? Is that not the right one?
Is this not a Guy in a Cube t-shirt? Is this
It
not
is.
one?
All right, so go to so instead of the join, for some reason I don't have that wired up correctly. So instead of the join, just put merch on the end of it, and that'll get you to the store where you can buy some shirts. But yeah, Patrick's wearing a Guy in a Cube shirt. It's amazing.
Somebody said it's counterfeit. It's not counterfeit. This is authentic. This is authentic. This is authentic, man. This is authentic.
There you go. Although I'm thinking we need to update it to where the yellow bar on the right is now the fabric green, and so you're going from you started with Power BI, but you end up in fabric. That's amazing.
Well, where were the yellow? Oh, yellow. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. With that, I think we checked all the boxes. There you go, Alex. Thank you, sir. I've checked all the. Yeah, the French toast shirt is very popular.
What the French toast?
That's it. All right.
And I got
Hello, KGR. Thank you for being here. All right. Let's get to the queue. Let's get to your questions. Oh, and the queue is light, so do get your questions in. We're there. Let's go with. So I'm just gonna. I already answered it. So Eric, thank you for the question. I jumped the queue on you. So you were the first, even though you weren't the first. So that's good. Also a heads up, if you have a burning question you want it answered, make sure you get it. Super chats always take priority throughout the stream. So just remember to type in your question when you do it. We should call them Q shirts. Yeah, Matthias, no question from you. Q shirts. Is that like Qbert or no?
I guess so.
All right.
I guess so.
Matthew coming in. Is it true that the Fabric Cat now has a mascot, and is it named Boopers? Maybe. Booping is always good. And then part 2, does this mean that we'll soon see more SaaS booping as a service capabilities coming to Fabric? Maybe.
I don't know, Matthew.
So Matthew, I will say, if that's really what you would like, be sure to go to aka.ms/fabric ideas and get your feedback in. That's always important. Always do it. All right. Love it. I will say we were looking. There was a Power BI cat icon for the team, and we're trying to get a new icon for Fabric Cat. And Mark Ruggiero was like, I don't want to see any animals in there. So
wait 1 second. So I don't work on the Power BI cat team anymore?
No, you're Fabric Cat, man. It's Fabric Cat, all the things.
Oh, this is some harsh news. This is harsh news that I'll have to deal with all weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Power BI is still part of it, though. So. Yeah, I feel that.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm not.
Just let that one go.
I'm not. All right.
Yes, Alex, I do need to update. LinkedIn. I got to go a lot of places to change this. Huh? When did this happen? When did I go from Power BI Cat to Fabric Cat? When did that happen?
I believe on March 23rd,
Okay, we'll talk
my
about
friend.
it later. We'll talk about it later.
Or May 23rd, not March 23rd. Remember that YouTube event thing we did and the whole launch thing? Remember? Oh no, you were at Kaylin's you were at Kaylin's graduation the day. That's why you didn't know about it. So you didn't get the memo.
I didn't get the memo.
Your manager's slacking. Okay. It's all right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. This question. Let's get to the question. Sandeep. And Chris said he loves this question, by the way. I'm assuming he's referring to Sandeep stuff and not our witty banter. Patrick's desktop just went black. What'd you do? All right.
Yeah,
anyway. All right. When should someone choose to create cubes in Azure Analysis Services rather than a data set any example of such use case. So first off, I will say cubes can only be created on premises with multidimensional, so you're never going to create that in Azure Analysis Services. So we can create tabular models in Azure Analysis Services. And so going back to that, so the tabular model, so Azure AS versus Power BI data sets, which one should you use? I would say, Paul says never. What? Chris, whatever, just call it a cube. This is the only cube I refer to. So, all right. So tabular models, Patrick, why don't you give your take on it?
If there's anything that Azure Analysis Services can do that you need that Power BI cannot do, that's when you use it. When is that ever going to happen, though? When is that ever going to happen? So I'm going to have to go agree with Paul. Never.
Yeah.
You don't need Azure Analysis Services anymore. Yeah, you don't need Azure Analysis Services anymore. Power BI is a superset. If you find something that it can do that Power BI can't do, maybe that's when you need to use it. All right. Otherwise, so let's see. AS gives you opportunity to scale up and scale down.
What Premium does too?
Yeah,
Premium does too. You can
Fabric.
you can.
Fabric capacity,
the fabric capacity
allows
you can scale those up.
Stop it. And you can start
same
and
as
stop
Azure
them too.
AS. Yeah, you can pause it. You can,
Yeah.
Same as Azure AS. So yeah.
So I think that's the point, right? So that's the point, and I think that's what Paul is saying. If you're using Power BI data sets, you never need to use tabular models, Azure AS, unless you can find something that it does that Power BI doesn't do.
Donald, technically, from a fabric capacity perspective, the F64 can scale down further. So.
Oh, there's nothing.
Yeah, I know
there's
you got nothing there. Oh. So fabric capacities give you more options on that front. So I would go that way. In general, what I've talked with folks about is like, look, if you've already got a project on Azure AS, like, should you migrate that to Power BI data set? That part, it depends. But like if you're starting something new, I usually say, why don't you like look at doing the Power BI data set first? And then if there are things that you're bumping up against from a requirements perspective that Azure AS can accommodate, then go that way. But someone get this man a drink. Yeah. Now, I will also add, though, there was a customer conversation we had. This customer had a very large model, and they were talking about they were on the hype train, right? They wanted to go like, we got to move to Power BI data sets, and so it was like a 900 gig model that they had that was massive. It was being hosted on Azure VMs inside of Analysis Services, so think on-prem, but it's in an Azure VM. And they were going to go through all this work effort to break up and make some different data sets and do some things with aggregations. It was going to be a huge work effort. They didn't need to do it, though. It was working. So I was just like, what if you just stayed on the VMs? And they're like, wait, we can do that? I'm like, of course you can. I'm like, yeah. So that's what they did. So, all right, cool. I know. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. I think he should like phone a friend or like a daughter to say, hey, get me some coffee. All right. Scott, thank you for a super chat. You came in with a question as well. So let's see what that is. So Scott said, trying to demo the Fabric 3.5 billion row perf from the Guy in a Cube video with Justina. What to do to match performance? Load into Lakehouse and sort partition multiple files, or just straight to single warehouse. Tips to match performance. All right, Patrick's getting excited over this. What do you got?
I will tell you this: I have not taken this to the warehouse yet. Right? I haven't taken this example to the warehouse. I've done it in the lake house. I've created some lake tables, and the very first time I did it, I did nothing, no partitioning, nothing. And Adam can attest to this. Yeah. I just got the data, created a Spark table over the 3 billion rows. I dropped it on, it performed. I did nothing to it. And I told Adam, I was like, this is not going to perform. The entire time I was like, this is not going to perform. And I was like, it's fast. So let me go test the lake house. I plan to do that over the next month, and I'll let you know. I haven't tried it with the lake house and just save the table to a lake house and let me know how it performs. The warehouse is something that I still have to test.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Al.
and I think there's still some things coming on the warehouse side to help. So that's yeah, but yeah, test it out. Definitely love to see the performance. But from a pure lake house perspective, like it's pretty fast. So yeah.
Benny, you'll never be relevant, Benny. You're never irrelevant, Benny. Or were you talking about me being irrelevant? I don't know. But you're never irrelevant, Benny. You're never irrelevant. We're coming out to Data Mines, Benny. Stay tuned. We're coming out to Data Mines. Stay tuned.
You're not irrelevant, Benny.
Never. You have beer festivals, Benny. You have beer festivals. How can you be irrelevant?
That was biggest smile I've ever seen on Patrick's face when he walked into that, and he just arms up in the air. I'm home.
These are my people. These are my people.
That was it. And then the next morning, 9 a.m., we're walking out for breakfast, and he's like, "Wait a second, they're drinking." All right. Anyway, heaven does exist. Yes. All right, Alex. On-prem SQL Server to Dataflow's Gen 2 refresh succeeds but fails to write to Lakehouse. Error is SQL Server connection issue. Latest gateway installed. Is this a bug or intended? I did see Matthew's comment. Matthew's been banging pretty hard against this. It's possible it's a bug. So maybe I would like to know, because you said it's a SQL Server connection issue. So I'd like to understand what the error was. I have seen some comments from.
So when you connect to SQL,
yeah,
and then you use Dataflow's Gen 2 to land it in the lake house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try.
So Alex did say just open a support ticket. So definitely do that if you are bumping up against it. One other thing, I have seen a couple comments from people where, and this is just anecdotal, so this, I don't know that this would work on your case, but there were some people that said they actually like rebuilt a new workspace, tried it again, and then it worked. So for whatever reason, so that it'd be something to verify if you can reproduce it, because if you can reproduce that in multiple workspaces, like that's definitely a problem. But I would love to understand what the error is, and I think he put in. Yeah, so Alex, so this is my thing, is typically when I see a connectivity error to SQL, I want to rule out that there are connectivity problems to SQL. So if you're going through a gateway, what I would do is from that gateway machine, you can open up, there's a thing called, what is it, a UDL file? So it's a file you can create on your desktop. So if you just create you know what, let's head over to my machine.
Okay, I'm gonna go write something down.
Let me show this.
Video.
I already have a video on this, by the way.
No, I'm talking about.
All right, so, and I know this is small, but I just created a text file. Let me get rid of that. I created a text file. I'm going to do test.udl. I'm pretty sure it's UDL. I'm reaching back. It's going to ask me, do I want to change the extension? Yes, I do. And yes, it is a UDL file. You should see the icon go back to this icon, which I know is very hard to see because you're in front of the Stormtrooper. So that should be the icon now. What this does is if you open this up, it comes up on the wrong
They
screen.
say they don't see anything, Adam. I just see your, okay.
No,
Now I can. Now
it was
I can.
there. The icon's hard to see a little bit. So, but when you rename the file to test.udl, anything with a file extension of UDL, it creates a data link file. From there, you can double click on it and you can choose what provider you want. So like I'm just going to use SQL Server.
I barely can see that.
I know. I'm zooming in. I'm zooming in.
Can you
and
zoom
out.
in a little bit?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Just
thank you.
simmer down, buddy. And so once you do that, you
And
can
the
enter
screen
your.
far away.
Oh my gosh. You can put your server name, your credentials, what database, and then this little test connection box. So on your gateway machine, run this. And then does that connection succeed or fail? If it fails, it's not the gateway, it's not data flows, it's not anything. You need to go figure out the network piece and the authentication piece to SQL, right? Something's blocking the connectivity to the SQL server. If this works, it's something else. So this is usually what I go to rule out the gateway and Fabric or any of that stuff. So there you go. Yes, Robin. Yes, this is my old support stuff. I did like one of the very first videos on the Guy in a Cube channel. Like I went through like connectivity troubleshooting. It might have been the very first video. I don't even know anymore. I'd have to go back and look. But I talk about this UDL file and like how to test those things. So hey, Alex, you want to drop an oldie video? It should be like this connectivity something. Very very first video. So first or second video, I think. Yep. So cool. Yeah, Kerberos. So if you see login failed for user anonymous or NT authority anonymous or null or something like that, so this is a single hop situation though, so I don't expect like from a UDL file, it's a single hop, so that wouldn't be a curb issue. From the gateway, it could be though if you enabled some of those things. So you could use SSMS, but like, what if you don't have that installed? Like, I can just create this really quick and not have to install anything. It works on every version of Windows that going back a very, very long time. So,
but everybody has SSMS installed. Everybody does.
Sure. Okay. I'm pretty sure Chatmaster C does not. Just saying. There you go, Alex. Thank you, sir. Hello world. What is connectivity? Bam. I talk about it there. That's an old video. With you, Chris. That is an old video.
Everybody should have SSMS installed, Chris.
All right. So hopefully that helps you out. All right, Eric. Will Direct Lake improve calculating in Vertipack after the data is loaded into memory? What does that mean?
Will Direct Lake improve calculating in Vertipack after the data is loaded in memory?
I don't understand the question. So the Direct Lake piece is really about loading the data up. After that, I'm like, you're running DAX and you're doing all that stuff. So I don't. It's going to make it faster. It makes calculations faster for sure.
Well, but the thing is though, if I import, if the model is imported, it's imported, and so Direct Lake's going to get the data in memory and behave just like the import is. It's gonna,
for the most part,
I gotta say this. All right. It's gonna depend on your data model. It's gonna depend on so many different things. It depends. It depends because if you got a crappy data model, if you have a ugly baby, right? If you have an ugly baby, you're still in the same. You're still in the same place you are. So it could improve it, but you got to make sure you follow the same.
So you can't. Thomas said DQ with Direct Lake, so that's not. Yeah.
This is a family show. Family show. Hey, it's not my fault. Not my fault if people have ugly babies, Chris. I just tell it like it is, man. Tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Matthew sent me a great message the other day. I'll have to share it with you, Adam. So
you don't want to share it with everyone?
Somebody uses. They use ugly baby as part of. It's just part of the things they talk about when they're developing stuff. Is like. Yeah, they just have an ugly baby. You just have an ugly baby.
That's it. Yeah, it is what it is.
It was part of some interview he did.
Nice. Yeah. So Eric, I like for the most part, like it's like the calculation stuff. It'll make things faster. But outside of that, I need to know like more specifically like what you're looking for there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Eric, wait before you leave this. Eric, test it out. Right. Test it out. Right. Yeah. That's what I like to do. Don't do direct query. Test it out. Get your data in. How much data are we talking about? Are you using the star schema? Do you have one flat table with 800 columns in it? Test it out. Right? Test it out and let us know. I'd love to know what you run into. Here we go. See, I talk with a big customer who has an ugly baby capacity for poorly designed Power BI apps. This is what they name it, an ugly baby capacity, right? It's part of their terminology. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew.
Love it. All right. Let's see here. We got Olbu. Probably not saying that right. I want to build a data set with a reduced count of columns. Not all should be available. Okay, so remove them. Could I use a view of this table? And is Direct Lake then so fast as on the table direct? So, all right, there's a lot of things going on here. So, First off, when you're doing this, like, you have two options to reduce columns. First off, just don't bring them in. From a Power Query perspective, you can remove those columns or like unselect them. As Patrick would say, well, and I will say, as Matthew says, let me drop this on. There you go. I think I did that right. You should do your data transformations as far upstream as possible and as far downstream as necessary. And so if you can do a view on the data source, do the view. 100%. But you look like you want to say something.
Because, and so I think Chris Jones is saying it. How do you model your data set in Fabric? I think that's what everybody's trying to figure out right now. I think that's what all these questions are about. I really think that's what all these questions are about. Just follow everything we've been talking about before. Don't worry about Direct Lake. Don't worry about it, right? Direct Lake is fast and it's gonna work. You still need to create a star schema. You still need to go upstream. You still need to do all these things. Matthew said go upstream, go upstream. That's his Rochem's maxim, right? Mine is don't have an ugly baby. Not as elegant as Matthew's, but Patrick's maxim, don't create an ugly baby. And so you still need to follow all those best practices. Set your data types properly. Have a star schema. Create your relationships.
To Thomas's point, this is not specific to Power BI data sets, right? This is data warehousing architecture in general. Data architecting, right? Like, keep it simple. Like, don't throw things in there that don't need to be there. Don't forget about all the things you've learned all these years, because Christian Wade, and I got to talk to him about Direct Lake. Maybe you'll see him on a video. But just because Christian's talking about Direct Lake, if you look at the stuff he's connecting to a star schema under the covers, right? Yeah. And so star schemas, all the things. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about star schemas. Yeah, that's right. Don't forget about them. Don't forget about them. That is not a Power BI or Fabric book. That is a generic book on concepts for star schemas. Power BI didn't invent that. It's been around for a long time. In terms of like how do you model in Fabric? I mean, if you're trying to leverage Direct Lake, you've got to do it on the Parquet files, right? So you're going to do it there, whether that's in a notebook or, however you're getting that data in. And you can do those medallion layer things and create your star schema at the lake, or within the lake house, or in the data warehouse, right? So you can do it there.
And Mim's right. It's still memory bound. Direct Lake is still memory bound. Everybody's thinking, you can have 10 terabytes. No, it's still memory bound. Go ahead. Yeah,
it is true. But like, there's going to be optimizations there, and they're going to keep working on that. So when we think about paging and all of that stuff, so it'll improve, and your boundaries you'll get more mileage out of it. But yes, you're still. Look, at some point you're going to bump up against physics, right? Like there's only so much hardware can do, and that's true with anything. So okay,
but it is. It's memory. Memory is the limit, right?
Yep.
Memory is the limit.
All right,
there'll be some
almost.
One more.
I may be able to get two more here. I'm going to get two more here because this one's going to be quick. So will and when Fabric will support RLS? It's now the main blocker. Two parts here. So you can still do RLS within Power BI datasets like you could before. So if you're just importing, but if you're leveraging Fabric items, a lot of this is going to come with the one security that Josh Kaplan has talked about. It was mentioned in the build event. So if you go to we've got the videos on the Guy in a Cube channel, you can go check that out. One security is not out yet. I don't have a timeline. There's been no timeline published for this, so stay tuned. That is. That's when one security is going to be the answer there, where you can implement like row level security and those types of things at the Parquet, the Delta file perspective. So, or at the lake house and the warehouse. So, cool. And one more. This one's interesting. Chris said, when will Fabric support embedded app owns data? We tried it and it doesn't work. Support says it's not available yet. So I have questions here. When you say embedded app owns data, what is your scenario? Because whatever was there from Power BI before, like that should still work. That shouldn't have broke. And so now the question is what are you trying to embed that you're saying doesn't work? I'd love to know more details on that. So please, please, please let me know. I know we are about to go into member-only chat, but I would love to know your scenario on what you feel is not working or what it is you need to work from an embedded perspective on the AppBones data. So, okay. Let's go. We are going into member-only chat now. So at this point, only members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. Everyone else can still watch the stream, but the chat only will be for members and moderators. So if you do want to learn more about becoming a member, I'm dropping a link in the chat. So go check that out. No commitment required, but just thank you for checking it out. And that will allow you to participate in the chat as well. So let's go over to members. You are now clear to start dropping your questions in the chat. Chatmaster C will get them queued up. And I do know there were, and I know Chatmaster C called this out, but there were a couple member questions before the stream even started, and so make sure you resubmit those. So, all right. And super chats always take priority. Jay Murphy, thank you for the super sticker. If you did have a burning chat or a burning question that we didn't get to, I know we never get to all of them. Super chats will take priority, and that'll bump the queue as well. So, all right. We do not have any member submitted questions this time around. Excellent. All right. Thank you, Crystal. All right. Let's go to the queue. So I saw some things. Please share the link. I don't know what that means. I did share the join link in the chat, so go check that out. And it's now pinned as well, if that's what you were asking for. Maybe not. Yes. Yes, Matthew. Thank you. All right. Power 6. I did think about that for a second. Power 6. Is there a relatively easy way to migrate my tables and models from analysis services on-prem to Fabric capacity lakehouse for tables, data warehouses for model?
So,
and remember, Patrick, we were talking earlier
Yeah.
about SQL, but this is analysis services, not SQL.
So let me ask you this. Instead of going to analysis services, what is the source to analysis services?
Yeah.
I don't want to migrate analysis services. I want to migrate the source for analysis services to my lakehouse or my data warehouse in Fabric. And then whatever model you've built in analysis services, hopefully it's a tabular model. You take that tabular model and migrate it. And then that's what you would point that to that new lakehouse. You don't want to migrate analysis service. You want to migrate the source.
Yeah, and typically, like we've seen this before, where people are like, "Oh, I'm importing data from analysis service." I'm like, "Why would you do that?" Because there's calculations there, and now you're flattening things out, and it can get really wonky. That's a technical term, especially if you have like non-additive measures or things of that nature, where it just doesn't translate well when you try and flatten those things out. Okay. And so Patrick's point is key. Like, go back to this. Like, how are you doing it? Where are the source data, and how are you getting that into analysis services? And then look at how to get that into the lakehouse. Not the AS model. And then if you were just looking at like, how do I migrate on-prem AS to like a Power BI data set, that you could take the actual model definition. So Timdol or Timsol, like all of that stuff. And then just redeploy that through like an XMLA endpoint if you've got capacity, which the trial capacities for Fabric right now would allow you to do this through an XMLA endpoint. And then you can just migrate that up and reprocess. But that wouldn't get you into the lakehouse, though. So you'd have to do some work to get it in the lakehouse. But I would do that from the source.
Yeah.
Do it from the source. Do it from the source. Jay Murphy. The answer to why is because I can.
But think about it. That would be a good video, though, migrating your on-prem data warehouse to Fabric data warehouse. But the challenge, right? Once I get it migrated, then I got to figure out how do I continuously load it up. Yeah. So maybe I'll do a session, Fabric warehouse in an hour.
Yes, and if you have SQL Server 2022, we have a video dropping on Tuesday with Mr. Bob Ward, where he actually shows how you can actually do this directly from SQL Server. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Jay Murphy,
Jay Murphy said no.
Why not? Why? Tell me why. Tell me more, Jay Murphy. Tell me more. Why are y'all pushing warehouses? Why are we pushing warehouse? What's wrong with a warehouse? Adam and I, so Adam's not, will never tell the world this. Adam and I recorded a video on Is the Data Warehouse is Dead? And he never published this video.
I did. I just never published it. It's a dead video now. It was going to drop on the day of the Fabric launch. And I'm like, that video, no. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Scott, thank you for becoming a member. Very much appreciated. All right, I'm gonna turn on my Fabric capacity here, Patrick. Please remind me to turn it off. And then I'm gonna head over to my desktop here. Chris said something about migrating or changing the capacity is hard if it's a Fabric capacity, and I'm like, what? All right, let's go over to my machine. All right. So if I go, I'm just going to create a new workspace. Let's call it live stream demo. I'm not going to do a domain, and we'll hit apply.
Oh, is this a real demo you're doing?
It's a real demo. I'm not giving feedback. Everyone else should give feedback. I'm not giving feedback. It's fine. So if I go into workspace settings, and I come into premium, you have options here. And so you can do, if I had an embedded ASKU, so you could do, so it's a pro workspace, premium per user, premium capacity, embedded, which are the ASKUs in Azure, or Fabric capacity, which are the ones that you create in Azure. And so I can select Fabric capacity and then come down, and then these are my things, and then I assign it. And once that's done, bam, it's a Fabric capacity. If I want to go back to premium capacity, or if I could do premium capacity, I could change it back to premium per user. If I had a trial, you'll also see the trials there as well, so you can just switch them. So it's there. Like if you don't like the UI, definitely go to aka.ms/fabric ideas and give your feedback.
Hey Adam, go pause your capacity. Go pause it.
Oh, good. So Chris, if you do see the Fabric capacity is grayed out, that either means that your capacity is paused. And there was something I saw. There was a conversation we were having about like not being able to do it. There is something where they're going and making a fix. There was a bug there that was interesting. Maybe I should do a video about that. I don't know. But you need to make sure that you had to create another. You had to unpause something to get the switch right now, and that's gonna be fixed. So, all right.
Okay. Cool. Before we go to the next question, I need to go back to this migration thing. I'm sorry because I just saw something pop up. So Power 6 said, "Hey, where did it go? I missed it."
Okay. Given the warehouse can sit on Lakehouse.
No, that's not it. We're source SQL, but he doesn't want to rebuild the model. Right? And so once you move it up to the data warehouse. In Fabric?
Yeah.
What?
No,
go ahead. Because sometimes I go down these rat holes and I'm...
But my thing is, like, you don't want to rebuild it, but you're going from a tabular model, and you said Lakehouse or warehouse, you have to rebuild it.
Well, but once you go... Well, yeah, great point. But once you move it to Fabric, then you said, and I think people missed the part where you were saying Timdul and all the other things, right? Yeah. You said this. So once you get it, you can open your model up in Tabular Editor or all these other things, repoint it to the source, and just deploy it out to Power BI. So you should be good, right? So you won't, or you can. There's a migration tool. There's so many ways to get that model without completely rebuilding.
Scott said SQL Server replication to cloud, CDC, Azure Sync.
Azure Sync.
Yeah. But check out the videos. If you have SQL Server 2022 on-prem, like check out the video on Tuesday with Bob. That's a whole complete. It's actually pretty bananas. It's pretty bananas. So it'll be good. Matthew, if you want to rebuild it but don't want to rebuild it, why would you rebuild it in the first place? So I know. I'm just All right. Moving on. All right.
But there's options. There's options. Power 6, there's options. I mean, we're joking and kidding, but there's really you really have a lot of options to minimize your rebuild. All
right. Hi guys. Hello. Could you please help me? We will try. Why my publish report stopped refreshing on the service, even though I have not changed anything to the report and the source. On desktop, the report refreshes properly. There's a part 2. The error message I received from the service is that the column was not found, but I didn't ever have a column with the name to my report. And I know there was some chat back and forth. I know you're going to say something. I'm going to highlight there was a back and forth in the chat about the fact that it's like something probably changed, whether it's on the report side or it's on. I think it was mentioned it was a CSV file. Something probably changed, so we need to re-verify that. I know they were coming back saying nothing changed. I did make the comment in the chat earlier about the fact that. I was in support for a long time, and I can't tell you how many times. I was on one case where it was a SQL Server engine case, and they claimed, they were adamant that nothing changed, but now they had this big issue where things were crashing, and we're like, so we spent, there was like 4 of us that were going through debugging this thing for like 3 to 4 months, and we narrowed it down. Like, we were having to bust out the Windows debugger to go figure this out. And we narrowed it down. There was some stored procedure where they took like a sysinternal tool and they were physically calling like to kill a handle in Windows, and it was causing like all sorts of bad things to happen. And then they were like, oh yeah, we did deploy that back in September, which is when the support case was opened. And I'm like, ugh. Yeah, so
something changed.
I get that you're saying nothing changed, but we got to rule that out. Like, I would say step back and just let's just revalidate things to verify that nothing did actually change. Past that, I would definitely say if you verified that it has not changed, I would absolutely say open up a support case. I mean, without detail, we got to debug it at that point. It's got to be debugged.
Something.
I usually, anytime someone says nothing changed, but now we're like, it just randomly stopped, like working of some kind. And like that happened recently with, there was a Power BI support case we had with a big customer, and they said the same thing, nothing changed. And we get down and they're like, oh yeah, something changed.
Resource governor.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep. Yeah, Patrick showed me a screenshot, and he was just like, "What do you see in this screenshot?" I'm like, "Whoa, why are they doing resource governing there?" He's like, "Exactly." And apparently, like they just implemented that because of some other reason, and now it's affecting everything. And I'm like, oh, but nothing changed. So anyway, okay, let's go. Utkarsh. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. When and who would be able to use the DAX query view in Power BI Desktop? This was previewed at the build event. Oh, what you missed was that was a vision demo. That was not real yet. That was like their vision of what was coming, right? So that's what they want to go towards. There were no timelines associated with that. It doesn't exist yet. It's not out in the wild. So this was what Zoe did for her vision demo. So go back and watch. They preface it with, this is a vision demo. Meaning it's not out yet. Vision demo. Vision demo.
I will tell you this: the demos that Zoe did.
They were amazing.
At Bill,
they were bananas.
This is bananas.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like as your comment is like, we want those now. Like, give that to us. It was amazing.
Yeah, when I was recording a video with her and the little stuff she was doing with her, and the stuff she called out with the dynamic format strings. Think about those little bitty things that she's doing times 1,000, right? She's working on some amazing stuff.
Amazing.
Zoe's working on some amazing stuff. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. So Chris did have a comment with that as well. That is really what Patrick has to answer. Is Power BI Copilot out yet, or Copilot for Power BI? So. Everybody asked that. Oh my gosh. I know he was saying that jokingly, but yes. Oh my gosh. It's like the bane of Patrick's existence right now.
I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here, Chris.
Tom's got a two-parter. Let's see. I have a model with 2 fact tables and a number of dimension tables that I save as a template. Cool. Sometimes when I save it, the relationships disappear. Interesting. It seems to happen when there are a few records in a table. Is there any way to prevent the relationship from being dropped or changed? Now, one thing I would think would be interesting is if because it's a template, which means when you create a file off of the template, it's going to go out to the data, and there's no data in the template file. And so you're going to refresh the data. I'm wondering if it's trying to rediscover relationships as you're doing that refresh for the first time.
So you can turn that off, right? There's a property somewhere in the properties of the desktop where you can tell it not to. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is it's trying to rediscover relationships, and that's what's causing you to get borked.
Yeah.
So I would look at that first and foremost. He said he did that already.
Oh, he did say he did that. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
Can you send us a repro? Send us a repro.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You're the first person I've heard that has made that comment to us. We haven't heard that before, so send us a repro. I'd love to play with it, see what's going on. Beyond that, if that's actually something that's causing a problem, I would open up a support ticket.
But no, I don't know if it's just for new tables. That's a good point too. If that auto detect is just for the initial time.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why it's like,
that's
because if you're
point.
refreshing, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me is that we're refreshing it, and that's like, otherwise I don't know why the relationship would go away.
I don't know why they would disappear.
Yeah.
It's a good point, Bernard.
One thing that'd be interesting too, if you have the Power BI template file, open that up in Tabular Editor. Well, I think you need Tabular Editor 3 to see the relationship. But no, you can check out, even in Tabular Editor 2, you can see what the relationships defined are. Does that even exist in the template file? That'd be interesting. No, you don't like that?
I don't know. You just got. This is interesting. I gotta try to figure this out. I'll have to test this because I don't know why that would happen.
Yeah, I don't know why it would just disappear. Well, so also disappearing makes it sound like it was there and then disappeared in the concept of opening that thing. So that's why I'm like, open it up in Tabular Editor and see if it's actually there. That would be very interesting. So happens consistently. Yeah, send us a repro. Send us a repro. All right, Laura, which Power Platform conference can I volunteer you to be at? Huge overlaps. We need a guy in a cube session. Wait, no, we're already signed up for like.
She said ask Jason. She said ask
no,
Jason.
I know. I talked to Jason.
Answer.
Jason's got a Word doc
she put
with
her own
sessions.
Answers.
Yeah.
Laura, you got your own. Well, maybe she's talking about like a hangout session or something like that. Not a regular session. Maybe that's what she's talking about.
All right, so
maybe she's talking about hangout.
Well, no, because
they just
did. Hang on. So they just did the European Power Platform Conference. So she's asking which.
Yeah.
So we will be hopefully stars aligning. We will be at the Power Platform Conference in Vegas in October.
Wait. Let's back up and let's just start going down from the beginning. In September, where will we be in September?
Germany. SQL Conference.
What's the name of that conference?
SQL Conference.
Okay. So sometime in September, we're going to be at SQL Conference. Okay? October. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I don't remember all these things.
Oh my gosh. October is Power Platform Conference in Vegas.
Yes.
And then DataMinds Connect in Belgium.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then November.
November is Past Summit. And Ignite's happening right there too, so I don't know what's going on with Ignite.
December.
And then December is Azure Data Conference in Orlando.
There we go.
Yes.
So there you go.
That's our plan right now for the rest of this year.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to be.
So Vegas. We'll be in Vegas Power Platform. I had to get him to do it because I don't remember. Right? Adam remembers these things. So
Matthew, Data Mosh Pit. He did ask us like we should stick around for Data Mosh Pit. So
maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. But the Vegas Power Platform Conference, the plan is for us to be there. So,
yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Adam.
And then we did do a community hangout at the one in Orlando. It was in Orlando, wasn't it? Last year? Wasn't it in Orlando?
Yeah. So we're working on something for Vegas, right?
Yeah. Well, we're trying. It's like incredibly expensive in Vegas. So stay tuned on that. We'll see if we can work some magic. But
get your tickets for the Guy in the Cube data tour.
That's where we're going to be. All right.
Hey,
Bernat.
Laura.
Wait, what?
Bernat's got a question?
Bernat's got a
Really?
question. Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's see what this is.
If my customer has everything in SQL Server and SQL Server integration services, what am I supposed to tell them about Fabric? Do we need to build everything from scratch? What's the best way forward?
That's a good question. That's a good question. The SQL Server part, I don't say you necessarily need to rebuild it, because I'm assuming you're talking about hosting your data warehouse in SQL Server. The data warehouse, and everybody's going to go, oh, do a lake house. Hey, look, if you know T-SQL and the data warehouse works for you, use it. Go ahead.
Well,
Adam. Go ahead.
So we're talking on-prem. So there's no there's not an elegant way to migrate the on-prem stuff to like the data warehouse in Fabric. So one question, Patrick and I were talking about this before the stream started, and I don't know. I'd have to go look. Like if you had a backup file in SQL Server on-prem, can you restore that backup file in Azure Data or Azure SQL Database? I don't know.
SQL Database.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's a bunch of limitations around that in terms of what you're doing in your on-prem. So, Paul, use Data Wrangler. Yeah, moving to managed instance, I know you can do that. But in terms of Fabric, like if we just look at Warehouse today, that's a different. Like today, there's nothing like to migrate for that, so you would have to rebuild it in some form or fashion. You got to rebuild. You have to. How else are you going to do it? How else would you do it?
Well, so if the data warehouse schema, right? Facts. I'm just talking about from the schema perspective. I can script the schema off, and I can go recreate that schema in Fabric against my data warehouse.
That's rebuilding. That's rebuilding.
That's not no.
It is rebuilding.
That's just a script. That's just a script, right? I don't have to rewrite the code for my DIMs, rewrite the code for my facts, right? I just script it, create it. Now, what you have to rebuild. And then get the data up there, right? We can use many ways to get the data there. What you have to rebuild is your ETL process, because you have to figure out how to continuously load your data warehouse, right? You have to rebuild that part. And that's the SSIS part. How do you do that?
It's like 7 terabytes.
And I saw Matthew's question a while ago, and this is where I'm going with this, right? Yeah. And so there's a million ways to do this.
Yes,
do you need to do this, though?
Yeah, and that was Matthew's comment that I put on the stream. Is like, what's the benefit of doing that? Chris is on Chris is on hashtag Team Adam. That's rebuilding.
You're not listening. You guys aren't listening. You're
absolutely
listening,
right.
But that's okay. Keep moving. Keep moving. Okay. You're not listening.
Okay, I'm not. But he did. Burnett did say it's 7 terabytes with hundreds of processes.
Jeez.
I hear your garage door. By the way, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be over soon. It's fine. Wow, look, it's so quiet now. Jason. Yeah. Exactly. You muted yourself, Patrick. I know you know this.
Sorry.
You just muted yourself and you were talking. I thought you were just messing around.
There you go, Benny. I'm with Benny. It's not the data warehouse part. That's the easy part. It's the ETL.
We'll come back to you, Jason. Sorry. We're still going off on this, apparentely. What did Benny say?
Bring up Benny's comment.
Yeah, I'm bringing it. SSIS, yeah, and I agree. The SSIS part is a worry. Like, you got to rebuild that.
Yes. Thank you, Benny. Oh, thank you, Benny. Thank you so much.
But
Kevin, can you repeat that?
But it's still rebuilding. I don't know why I don't know.
When I got to that part, I said, this is where the rebuild begins, because you're not recreating.
But scripting and rebuilding.
On to the next question.
Like you're still.
On to the next question.
Yes.
On to the next question.
Okay.
On to the next question.
Okay. That's where we were. Ajay, thank you for becoming a member. Very much appreciated. Welcome. All right, Jason. Now we're back to you. Will triggers macros ever come to Power BI? On-prem apply filter to override last saved or cache selection, or on open? I'm not aware of anything there. So no type of macro or anything like that. If that is something
like an event.
Yeah. If that is something that you do desire, go to Fabric Ideas and get it in there. I gotta believe something there exists already that you can vote up. So
Is that not the activator? Can the activator not do
No,
that?
it's not the same thing. So that's not going to do like an on.
I
So
know.
like what you're
I
thinking
know.
is you
I
open the
know. I know.
report, like some event triggers and it resets
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah, that doesn't exist today.
Well, what about Power
Did-
Automate? What about Power Automate?
It's not going to do it, man.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm
Okay.
kidding.
I'm like,
Just
none of that.
keep moving.
None
Keep
of that
moving.
would work for that scenario. Okay.
I
Gustavo,
love this vibrant conversation we're having. I just love it.
I feel the love. Any tutorial on how to start and stop Fabric using PowerShell? So I think that means the capacities in Azure. I'm going to assume that.
Yeah.
At which point you can use ARM templates or like ARM scripting to do that. I can do a video on that. So I'm not aware of any. Honestly, if you just go to anything in Azure, like how to stop and how to pause and resume a resource in Azure, you'll probably see a ton of examples out there, and you can just rework that to the Fabric resource, which is the capacity.
So there is a way to do that. So there is a way to do it with Fabric. All right, cool. I can't wait to see that video.
Yeah.
Benny, thanks, Benny. Thanks. Keep talking about this SSIS part, my friend.
No, we all
definitely
agree on the SSIS. You're rebuilding SSIS. No one's disputing that. We're all on the same page. We're all on the same page.
Thank you,
Oh
Benny.
my gosh, we keep going back.
I'll see you in Belgium, Benny. I'll see you there, my friend.
Yes, Benny. So say we all. So say we all. Yes. Yes. But yeah, ARM is what you want, Gustavo, for pausing, resuming, anything from a resource. ARM stands for Azure Resource Management, and the Fabric capacity is just an Azure resource, and so you can do that. So tons of examples out there on the internet.
Look what Alex said. Look what Alex said.
No. Yeah. So yes, you're right. So what I'm gonna say is let me go investigate that, and then I will do a video. I don't know if you need a specific Fabric module to do this. That may be true, so stay tuned. Either way, I'm gonna do a video on it.
Because that would be great.
Yeah,
that would be great.
I'm gonna do a video on it.
I got that question a couple
I
of times
do
this week.
remember in the live stream that Amir was on with me, he made the comment that would work. So,
Okay. All right. I trust you.
which
I trust
if
you.
it doesn't work, I'm gonna go back and say, where's it at? Where's it at?
Yeah. I trust you.
Where's it at? All right. Data trends. How are we doing on time? Oh, wow. We're bumping up against the clock. Data trends. I know. That's because you went off on this whole rebuilding thing like 5 times.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Data trends. Correct platform or procedure for logging any issue we might face with Fabric. Whew.
Alex posted something. Alex posted something in the chat.
Support.fabric.microsoft.com is going to be my off-the-cuff answer to that. I'm assuming that's correct. And or if you have feedback ideas, then it's ideas.fabric.microsoft.com, which you can get to by aka.ms/fabric ideas.
He reposted it.
There you
He
go.
reposted
Bam.
it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Alex.
Fabric support. Oh, I'll add a new thing in there for Bang support to get that link in there. That'll be for next time. Cool. Let's get another one. Matthias.
Hey, Matthias.
Timelines for Direct Lake with Data Warehouse. I don't know. Nothing's been published
tuned.
publicly
tuned.
about that, so stay tuned. I know you're trolling a little bit. You're you know. You know that we can't say anything. Honestly, I don't even know the timeline. I honestly don't know the timeline.
Stay
So
tuned.
I'm not even
tuned.
being facetious there. I don't know the timeline. All right. Hey. Is Spark Notebooks feature disabled for trial users? Tried to launch notebooks while doing the Microsoft Fabric course material. I wouldn't think so. No, the trial
No, I don't
capacity
think
should
so.
give you all the capabilities. So I don't know. I need more details on what you were trying to do. So it should absolutely work. That's a core.
Look, Bernard said, "Did you need to change the persona? Where you at when you create that notebook?"
No,
Let me go.
that should no.
You
All right,
sure?
let's go back to my machine. All right,
I'm going to mine.
I'm in my workspace. I'm in the Power BI. Hang on, let me hide this. I'm in the Power BI persona. Watch this. I'm gonna go to New. I'm gonna come down and say Show All, and then I'm gonna click Notebook. Creating a notebook. Oh, look at that. Capacity? Oh, that's because I paused the capacity. Because Patrick told me to pause the capacity.
No.
Oh my gosh. Hang on. Yeah, show all.
Oh no, it just worked on mine. I was in my
Yeah, I know. Like
I
it
just
should
created a
work.
notebook.
It should
Yeah.
work. Hang on, let me start the
I
capacity.
just
That
did
was
it. I just
that was
did it.
anticlimactic. It has nothing to do with the persona. But yeah, you can go to show all, and then I can do the notebook and create notebook. This is actually a fabric capacity in Azure, but it'll do the same thing for a trial capacity. There's no difference there.
But if I go to another workspace,
And there you go, loading the notebook. Once you start the capacity, bam, there you go. All right.
So
I don't-
okay. But if
I
you go
don't-
to a workspace that's not backed by fabric capacity,
Well, no,
you
it's gotta-
you get some stuff.
Yeah, the workspace has to be backed by. In your case, if you're doing the trial, it's got to be backed by the trial capacity. Otherwise, it won't work. Either a premium capacity, a trial capacity, or a fabric capacity. Then the notebooks will work. So, yep, there you go. And look, Burnett said I didn't even know that you can just go to show all and you'll see. That was actually feedback that was given during the private preview. It was like the persona thing, like bouncing all around, and so they just added show all if you just want to do it right there. So it gives you options. It's amazing. Yeah. Hey, I would definitely go try it again. It should verify the capacity that it's assigned to the trial capacity and it's working, and it should work. If not, I would open a support ticket. Cool.
I
All
like
right.
the personas.
Yeah. All right. We are at time. Patrick, that went fast.
It went way too fast.
It did. Any closing words of wisdom?
Not today. I got nothing today.
No? Nothing today. No closing words of
Nothing
wisdom.
today.
You're going to record a bunch of
Nothing
videos
today.
though.
I got a
We
lot
got
of
videos
work today,
coming.
so it's nothing.
Yeah, we got
There's-
videos that are
I
coming.
got nothing. I can't go outside and hang out. I got to go work, so I got nothing today.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Love y'all, and we will see. If we didn't get to your question, apologies. Come back next time. We'll do it again. We will not have a stream next Saturday. Chatmaster C and I are going up north a little bit. We're going to go look at some houses. We're probably going to be moving, which will be amazing. So no live stream next Saturday, and Patrick's out also. And then, we'll be back. Also, that's potentially the 4th of July weekend if you're in the U.S., so enjoy that if you're doing a long weekend, even though Monday is not the 4th of July. So figure that one out. But yeah, all right, everyone. Great to see you in the chat, and we will see you in the comments on the videos and the next live stream and on the socials. We'll see y'all. Bye.
Life moves with all the surprises. I never dealt with chemical reactions. It comes down to this day. You're gonna be a tough act to follow, and you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. All the people wanna get in the circus, trying hard to keeping up with the Joneses. Everything is kind of trouble and purpose.